Well, we have a massive update for Sony's Venom Let Be Carnage. The movie actually did a premiere over in the UK, and we have all kinds of new details. Spoilers abound, and we have multiple updates from several fronts, including runtime, leaks, and even a post-credit scene. So let's take a couple minutes to break down all this news on Venom Let Be Carnage. Now, before we dive in though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. Also, we have this big giveaway. We're going to give away this PlayStation 5 at 25,000 subscribers. All you have to do to get in on the giveaway is be a subscriber and leave us a comment. Also, try to check out that Buy Me a Coffee link down below. It's a spectacular way to support this channel with a tiny bit of pocket change, all while creating no new obligations for yourself. We really appreciate it. Well, like I was saying, we have a deluge of Venom Let Be Carnage news, so let's break down each individual news story. First, let's talk about that 90-minute runtime for the upcoming film, which to many fans seems a little short. Now, that's an hour and a half, and the last movie was actually an hour and 44 minutes, making this one 14 minutes shorter. Many fans have expressed a little bit of concern that it may have been hacked up in the editing bay. But with the initial reactions being so positive, I don't really think that's what's happened. The director of the film, Andy Serkis, actually spoke to this a little bit, and this is what he said. It was actually always going to be. We always wanted this film to be a thrill ride, and a fast, muscular, not hanging around too much with exposition. But having said that, I think what we've done is achieve a real balance between dropping anchor with all the characters so you feel like you're fully immersed in them, and that we're not just rushing through to the next battle or action part. He does go on to say that the production team knew that, and I quote, they had to get Carnage into the story at a certain point and they didn't want to linger too long before that happens. And that it was vital that comedy was being supported by real emotion, pathos, and feelings. Serkis did say that once you get sucked in and Carnage comes to life, Eddie is going to do what he has to do to track him down, and this basically sets the pacing and energy for the movie, which I kind of found pretty interesting. I don't really mind the movie taking off really fast, and at 90 minutes I don't really think there's going to be a lot of time for expositional dialogue or just dragging your feet. The first movie did that for about the first half hour, and obviously that's not happening here. Now, one of the other big questions is, and has always been, about Spider-Man. And recently, the star of the movie, Tom Hardy, actually spoke to Entertainment Weekly, and he really had a lot to say about how to tie this all together. This is what he had to say. First, you establish a character. If people like it, then you take them on a journey. Obviously, Carnage, he's a high priest in that aspect in the arcana of the characters. It's like, wow, you've got to go bigger. Or you go lateral and build the world you continue to unpack. There's a Venomverse. There's a Spider-Verse, there's multiverses. There's all kinds of canon and lore and mythology to explore both laterally and forward in time. I think with the right people and the right planning and feedback from the audience and understanding, it's about making the right choice at the right time. Even with the foresight of understanding where things may go already or they wish to go, it's a combination of all those things in the alchemy of what it'll be. Very clearly, Hardy is talking about how to put all these puzzle pieces together and make them make sense. Building a franchise takes a little bit of time, and he seems to have that patience needed to do that. I do think Sony has mega plans for the future of Venom. And when we dig into the next segment of this video, it'll become even more apparent, but I will virtually guarantee Spider-Man is going to be part of the future of Venom in some capacity. Now, this leads us to the third piece of news, and this is a biggie. Now, when they did the premiere in the UK, Tom Hardy actually went up in front of the audiences and actually asked them not to leak the post-credit scene. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is a mega spoiler. And if you don't want a mega spoiler for the upcoming film, just go ahead and click away. You will not hurt my feelings. So what has happened is an audio version of the post-credit scene has leaked. I'm not going to post it here because I'm still afraid that Sony will send us a takedown notice. But the post-credit scene seems to confirm that Spider-Man and Venom are in the same world. You actually hear the J. Jonah Jameson announcement of Spider-Man killing Mysterio, with Venom then chiming in that he looks tasty. Now, this begs the question of, is this in the MCU, or is this another MCU adjacent project? Quite honestly, it could be either, and I suspect it's actually the latter. I'm pretty sure Sony is working with Marvel, and they're working ways to tie these things together as seamlessly as possible, but without having the Sony projects affect the overall Marvel timeline. Whether it was intentional or not, the first Venom movie kind of does that, so there's really no reason that the sequels and subsequent Sony universe of Marvel character films couldn't be integrated in the same way. I actually suspect this is a big part of the negotiations that went on between Disney and Sony when Tom Holland returned to the MCU. Now, this could also be 100% just faked. It's just the audio. But I have to say, with Tom Hardy actually specifically addressing the post-credit scene at the premiere and asking people not to talk about it, it seems to me it almost confirms the spectacular nature of that post-credit scene. Social media and review embargoes are still up, but the fan reactions for the film are super good. So hopefully we get more details soon, and once the reviews start dropping, we may get confirmation of this post-credit scene, but once again, it'd be a mega spoiler for you fans, so be careful. We just have a few more weeks before Venom Let There Be Carnage finally releases, and I obviously will be there, but I'm really curious on if you will be, and what you think of this deluge of news. Do you believe Spider-Man and Venom are absolutely going to exist in the same world? And will this be part of the MCU or just some sort of adjacent MCU? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you press like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not getting any updates.